Good morning, guys. Hi, this is me, my finger. Today, this video is about what the Singaporean think about Sweden. As you guys probably noticed, that my brother, and his wife has been visiting Skellefteå for 3 weeks and one day. So today, I'm going to share with you what I personally feel about what Singaporeans think about Sweden. So if you are thinking about visiting Sweden, this is the video for you. And don't forget, if you're new here, do subscribe and put the notification bell on so that you get me on live. So this is the day one. My brother name is Richard and his wife is Karen. So this is actually from my Facebook page. On day one, I put them in different album. So this is what you can do instead of keeping so much photograph on your on your camera. You can transfer them over to Facebook and put them in different album. And then after that, I used to delete all the photos, and that is how you can save space and produce even more when you are traveling. So this is the first day when they arrived in Sweden. So me and LG, we were very excited. We went to pick them up at the airport. So this is a picture of the airport. And I'm going to just browse through my Facebook page where, I'm going to be telling you guys what happened and what do the Singaporean think when they first arrive. The first impression, as you can see, my brothers and his wife was like thinking, wow, fresh air. And then, of course, Singaporean, they like to take selfie. So they came in and then they quickly take a selfie everywhere they go. So they just feel like the air is one of the most unique experience. So the minute that they came, when they arrived, we brought them to this supermarket where it's close to my job because I was supposed to be uh, working 2 days the day after because there is a big event. So I brought them to the supermarket to see how it is like. I think when you are traveling in a country, I think it's quite interesting to go through like, what are the daily life in that country. So they were saying, wow, everything is in Swedish, all the food. But I think English, Swedish label is, most of them is very similar to English. So some of the items they could easily guess. So we bought the items and then we quickly went to my job and I put them in the freezer and then off we go back home. And I make them a fried rice. So I thought that they want to have some local food from their country so that they don't, suddenly feel like, wow, that is a great change in food. So especially for my brother, he's a little bit old-fashioned type. He wants the typical Chinese food. So while we were sitting having lunch, and we're saying, oh, why not go to the garden and see if we can find something. So we found some raspberry, and both of them started to pick. And they were like thinking, wow, you can pick raspberry in your backyard. How wonderful is that? In Singapore, if you were to buy this just like 15 gram, you could pay a bomb to buy this fresh. And those that you can buy is not the one that is organic. They are usually produced in the farm. They look big, but they don't taste so much. So these are the wild berries that are found in our backyard. So both of them were picking and they were so happy. And after a while, they got almost full bowls of raspberry and they were so pleased. And while we came home, of course, Singaporean, you know me, we miss our food. So these are the gifts that I got from my brothers and sisters in Singapore and my niece and nephew. So these are the things that I really miss, and they asked me if I want anything from there, but I didn't say. I just want a few items. I just want a teapot like this one. So at the end I get so many presents. These are the coffee that they need. Singaporean, they are not used to the Swedish coffee because they find the Swedish coffee doesn't taste so much. They want their milk and they want the sugar. So take note, if you are a Singaporean and you are used to this kind of powdered coffee, bring your own packet. So, you know, you will not miss out. You will not miss the Singapore coffee. So some of the gifts here that we got from, and then we make some coffee to sample. And then they compared the Swedish coffee and they didn't like the Swedish coffee. So one feedback, which is really good, because in Sweden we don't drink coffee with sugar. Only the older generation they do that. So usually, because me and LG we have problem with our stomach, so we don't drink normal milk. So we drink lactose-free milk. And then after that, I brought them to this shop where it's very, very close. It's about 200 meters from our apartment, our B&B. So it's called Respect. And we went to this shop. It's a hunting shop where we could buy, you know, some hunting stuff and jewelries. And as you can see, my sister-in-law was pretty impressed with the items. In such a small shop you can see so many things, and they have jewelry, they have hunting tools, they have camping tools, they have meat, even wild meat like elk meat, bear meat, reindeer meat, you name it, they have it there. So this me admiring the jewelry. I like the homemade jewelry. So these are the items that you can find in the shop. It's really rustic and it's really beautiful in there. So this is the first impression. They say, wow, Sweden is all about hunting, yeah? Yes, that is what we do, because for me, I'm not a hunter. I hunt for edible food like berries and mushrooms. So yeah, you can say that we are natural hunter. And then after that, we went back home. The weather was quite bad. So instead of having a barbecue, we decided to eat in the summer house. So the first impression on the summer house, where I think I don't have the picture here, but they were amazed. How come, you know, Swedish people have summer house? We don't have summer house in Singapore. So summer house is like a chalet. We call that the holiday rental in Singapore. So, but we have it on our own. So this is day 1. Let me just bring you to day 2. This is day 2. So day 2, what do Singaporeans think about the booze? They think that the booze, this alcohol, is very cheap compared to Singapore. And we have a company called System Block where you can buy all kinds of alcohol. I can tell you it's more than maybe 300 over assortments of booze, wine, beer, cider, hard liquor, you name it, we have it. And according to them, they said that the liquor was so cheap, so they end up buying this much. Of course, this is ours too, some of them, but we didn't buy so much. They bought more than us. And then this is actually before that. While we were on that day too, we brought them to some what do you call that, to take a look around at areas. So there is a river called Skellefteälven, is in quite near our place. So we brought them, and they see some local fishermen catching some salmon. So this is what happened in Sweden. You could never find this in Singapore. You have to maybe go out to the ocean to catch big fishes, but here in Sweden you can actually catch big salmon just by the river. So they were quite impressed, and they said, oh, how nice, we can catch salmon and eat that every day. Of course, I already make some preparation. I bought about 11 kilo of salmon before they came, because I know they'd like it. So they will be going to be eating mostly salmon these days, because since it's so expensive, the price is like almost 5 to 7 times expensive depending on the quality compared to Sweden. So they say it's really, really cheap. And then we went to this cafe. This is a cafe just nearby the river. So we went there to take a look, and there was a live performance there. Let's see. And the cafe, according to them Singaporean, they saw, oh my God, it's only old people in the cafe. So yeah, I would say that this is a cafe for typically older people or older audience. So they say, oh, just imagine in 20 years time they will be like them, sitting there and listening to classic music. So it could be one way to think positively when you get old. But the thing is that I don't think so they would ever want to do that, because in Singapore they rather go out to shopping than sitting by the river and enjoy coffee and listening to somebody to sing. So we came back and I made some fei dan chok, we call that century egg porridge, and my sister-in-law was enjoying that, and it was really good, because I know Singaporean, they miss the food, but I still feel like they should try the local food. So I told them this will be the last time you're going to be eating Singaporean food, because from today I'm going to be letting you trying all the other local food. So, and then we went to this shop, and then we came home, and then we picked more raspberry, and after that we went to a friend's shop. This is I do not know if I've done live streaming, but I think I did. It's a friend from Hong Kong. They have this Asian store. That's him, Daniel, and his wife. This is his wife here, Jenny here. So they invited us for dinner at their place. It was really nice and kind. So we say yes, and they were so happy. They said, okay, we look forward to meeting you. And Daniel, he said, oh, means I'm going to make some local food for you. Hainanese chicken rice. So after that, we meet our daughters, my daughters, and then we went to this cafe or a restaurant where we could eat taco. So this is the taco. And this was the one that taken before at the salmon fishing area. My brother, he was like, wow, so happy, because he likes to fish. And then he took this selfie of him, and then he go and put it on Facebook and said to his friend, look here, look what I've got. Liar, right? Damn Singaporean. I'm not saying all Singaporean liar, but I'm just saying this is typical Singaporean. Yeah, this joking with your friends. Say, you see, I got this. You have or not? And this was at the cafe earlier on. If you notice, the arrangement of the video is not so uh, it- the way that I wanted it. I don't know why this happened, but anyway, this is day 2. So let's go to the day 3, if I can find day 3. Yes, it's here. So day 3 is the day where we go with the caravan, because me and LG, we thought that, we want them to be comfortable um, in the summer house. So we bought ourselves a caravan so that we could um, put it just beside the summer house so that they can stay there, because my sister-in-law, she has some allergy reaction to both our cats. So I thought that would be a good way to keep them away from the cat. So on this day, my sister-in-law, my brother came to help me at my job, because I mentioned early on we have a big event. So they were there helping me to prepare salad and yeah, and to serve the salad and to make some, to help out just as a volunteer. And during our break, we went for a little walk in the garden at my job. And again, typical Singaporean, they said, "Wow, look, what is this?" And then we found some black currant. So they decided to take out their camera, and we say we have to have a bag, a plastic bag. You have a plastic bag so that we can pick some. So this is something, it's an experience that Singaporean would really love, is that you can literally pick anything. Is from the public. We have this rule whereby you are free to roam in the forest, but restricted to areas like private properties. So they quickly take out the camera and then they start shooting. They see me and my my brother. They were taking pictures, and they find this we call it cruise bear, and also they were just near the church, which they thought was so beautiful. So they took a few selfies, and then we came back to our work. This colleagues of mine, she's been preparing satay in this special mobile oven here. And after that, the lunch was served, and we went back home. So immediately when we went back home, we checked out the caravan and load in everything, and we set off on the road. Before we went back, we saw there's a road accident. This caravan drove to the side of the road. So we were stuck on the road for not too long, but I think it was like at least 20-25 minutes here. And on the way to Umeå, we ate some pizza, and they think that, wow, the pizza was really big, and it's much cheaper compared to Singapore. In Singapore, they don't eat like this. They usually go for buffet like Pizza Hut, where they could sample a few different type of pizza at one go. So we did share, and we split and try on each other's pizza too. And then we were supposed to go on what do you call that, exhibition, but we intend to stay one night by the campsite. It's like a free campsite. So the next day, on that evening, we went to visit a friend. Her name is Pearl. She stayed in Umeå, and this is the area that I used to stay before. So it was really nice to come back to this area. And the Singaporean think that, wow, this is almost like in Singapore, HDB flat, right? So unfortunately, we don't have this kind of flats in Sweden. At the place that we stay in, it's like a whole bunch of area with just flats. which is really similar to Singapore. So I think the Singaporean probably feel at home here, but they think that all the these are all the glass are really well built, and they are very nicely decorated. In Singapore, you can see all this kind of balcony. Usually they hang clothes outside, but not here. You're not allowed to hang clothes here. That was what my sister-in-law was asking me. He said, hey, how come nobody hang clothes out? I said, no, it's not that. You have to hang clothes inside because for safety purposes, we don't do that. So, and then of course, this was taken before. Yeah, this was in the caravan. And then we went, and this is like day 3. Let me just go back and see if we can find day 4. So day 4, look at him. Day 4, we slept at the camp one night, and it was for free. We have a toilet. So to freshen up ourselves up, we thought, oh, why not we go and have breakfast in IKEA. So we could wash ourselves up. There's toilet we could use, and there's this breakfast buffet, very cheap. I think it was 59 per person. So you can eat as much as you want, what you want. So I think they did really enjoy this. They never tried this in Singapore. So if you are in Singapore, I think they should have this too. Go and check that out. They have very nice breakfast there. And of course, we need to get something. So we went and have a quick shopping. And then we arrived at this exhibition where you could see exhibition on sauna. This is a sauna that we sat in. These are saunas, and they think that was a really good idea for the winter where you need to keep yourself warm. And both of them like sitting on different motorcycle. Hi, welcome. And then they were like trying all kinds of caravan. This is actually caravan. Hey, welcome. Thank you for watching my live streaming. Don't forget to say hi, right? If you have any question, feel free to ask. So these are caravan, and my sister-in-law was so happy. She was like, hey, how come there is no caravan in Singapore? Of course there's no caravan because Singapore is lacking of parking space, because a caravan is really big and it will take 2 parking lots, and Singapore is going to have a lot of problem with the parking if everyone can own. And she said, how nice if Singapore have caravan, then we can sell our HDB flat and move to caravan. And that was what she was thinking. She was saying, oh, this is like a home, it's like a mobile home. Of course, you can sleep up to 6 people, and some of them can even sleep up to 8 people. And that's me driving. And she was like so impressed with and this is kitchen, full facilities with refrigerator, microwave, oven, you name it. And some of the food, we have this food hall where you could buy local produce food. And my sister-in-law, she bought this juice. This is like a jam. We call that the half tung. It's like a small berries, just a small little berries. It's like you're eating 5 oranges. So, and then this lady was saying, oh, you have to buy this. This is really good for children. And especially if you have allergy, this berries is really good. So my sister-in-law, you see, she quickly take out the wallet, and then she said, I want 2 bottles. And then, Sweden, you have to try local food. and my brother was like trying this fried cheese with the cloudberries. This is a very expensive cloudberries, and the cheese, they deep fry them in this bread craft, and when you eat that, it's so delicious. I don't know whether he'll enjoy it, but I think that he at least he tried, not rejecting it. So again, they were like trying on every mobile they can find, take pictures, so that they feel really nice, because you can't find this kind of automobiles in Singapore. So, and it was a perfect nice weather. The sky was so blue, and it was sunny, it was warm. You see, they wasn't wearing jacket. I think the thing with Singaporean who comes to Sweden, even in summer, some of them might find it cold. For both of them, because they are quite close to 60s, so they find it's a bit cold. So if you are younger, maybe you might withstand the coldness. But if you are older, it's good to bring some jacket in case you cannot take the coldness here. So again, here me and LG, we were trying on different bikes, some vintage bikes. And I don't think so you have this kind of exhibition in Singapore. You have food exhibition, not the kind of exhibition where you see a lot of automobiles. And that is exactly how the the Swedish lifestyle is like, all about outdoor adventure. So you guys probably saw Genevieve was here. You wonder how come she ended up, suddenly pop up, right? So we were actually having a crayfish party, but this is after that. Let me show you. Before, we were having this crayfish party. We came back to Skellefteå, and then we decided to have a crayfish party. And this is a bowl of crayfish, where I know that because the Swedish crayfish is very, very simple. Let me just show you this one. So they usually just buy them frozen, and they just serve them, defrost them and serve them. For me, I add a little bit of the Asian touch. I add lots of garlic and some chili flakes and some oyster sauce, and I try to flavor it more. So it's a bit different from the traditional one. And I like it very much too. And Genevieve, she bought some chicken wing. Yeah, she had prepared some for us. And then I have some pie, and then we have some bread. Everybody was so happy. And the meat, I was surprised, it was quite a lot. And then after that, we went to visit a friend who just next door to us in the evening. And we were just simply enjoying the evening and the daylight. There was still some daylight then. And then we stayed there for quite long, and we have this bonfire, which was really, really nice. We started to take out some chicken, and then we started to barbecue. So I got a lot of leftover chicken from my job, so I brought it with me, and my brother was helping out with the barbecue. And it was a lovely, lovely evening out. Everybody was singing, dancing, laughing, and just enjoying the day. Okay, so this is day 4. I'm going to jump quickly because I think it's very nice to just quickly show you. Oh, this is a place where we call that Lease Marine. I thought that the Singaporean might like to see the real farm. So this is a farm where it's operated like 50 years ago. It's still there, and it's operated by a gang of old people who are like an organization to support this way of farming, the olden style. So we visit there, and they get to see how the people live during that time. And of course, Singaporean, they will feel like, wow, I didn't know that Swedish people are so poor during the time, the olden time. Yeah, they are. They're really poor, and they have literally nothing to eat. They try to eat everything, including things that you cannot imagine that is edible. So, and then we have a little fika. And my sister-in-law was so amazed by, how the Swedish olden household is operated. They make their own carpet, they make their own cloth using this machine. And outside there is a farm where you could watch some animals. And we have some waffles too. And of course, they were freezing and it was raining. So just outside this cafe there is a farm, like a small mini farm where you could see different kind of Swedish plant and vegetables. And she was like trying out to be funny. At the baking house, they bake their own bread in this, we call that a box. It means baking cottage. So she was trying out action only, yeah. And then we were just enjoying and looking at all the old stuff that was like a museum. See how old people live. So this was quite a nice place to visit if you just want a calm place. And my sister-in-law and my brother, they were saying, hey, how come it's so peaceful here? Even this is a tourist attraction, you don't see any other people. I think so far we were like 3 groups of visitors there, or 4 maximum. So they really enjoy it. It's not like in Singapore. Everywhere you go to the zoo, everywhere is full of people. It's very noisy. It's very crowded. So they really enjoy themselves. Okay, and then on the day 6, I brought my sister-in-law for a walk in the morning. We went to visit Genevieve at her house, and Genevieve, of course, was showing us around how a Singaporean live here in Sweden for 6 months. So a lot of questions my sister-in-law asked. Can you get used to it or not? And how you manage with the cold and all that. So it was pretty interesting for her, how she can never imagine how a Singaporean could live here like 6 months, and then 6 months again, every year 6 months. And we also went to visit a friend nearby at his cottage. Some pictures taken. And then in the afternoon, I brought my sister-in-law to a friend's place. Her name is Cecil. She's quite old. I can't remember exactly how old, but do you know she can manage a garden with at least 300 plants and flowers. And this is all the plants and flowers she planted. And she have this really nice glass house where she could just relax and enjoy. I couldn't even keep a plant alive. And this lady, she could grow vegetables. She could grow all kinds of plants, beautiful flowers, fruits, trees, cherry trees. These are plums. These are cherry. This is grapes. This is pear. And they were feeding each other. This is wild strawberry. And then this is zucchini, some gooseberry, American blueberries, It's not ripe yet, but soon. And this is actually it's a drug, but I don't know whether is it legalized to plant this. I have to find out the name. I thought this was so beautiful, this plant. And then me picking the Linda lime, um, lime balsam. This is a very good plant for if you have problem with your nose, if you have sinus. And then I thought my sister-in-law need this because she has some issue with her nose. She always have this every morning, everywhere she go, like as though she was allergic. This is how it looks like, the flowers. Lime balsam is called. So when we came back, she I taught her how to remove the stems, and we try to dry it. This is how it looks like. Okay, so these are some of the pictures she uploaded herself, because we share this album together. So I add her as a contributor. And then on day 7, I think this is the day where we started to pick berries. Let's see. They were looking for. We were trying to find mushroom actually, but we didn't find mushroom. So we end up finding blueberries, picking blueberries. So this is a cottage where you could rest. And there was the Singaporean that was so amazed. What? Can we come in here? I said, yeah, we can come in here. This is a small little cottage where, you could take a nap, or you could rest, or take a shelter if it's raining outside for free. So my sister-in-law said, wow, Sweden's very good, huh? Wow, you can even come into this house without having to rent it. So we didn't find so much of a mushroom, and then at the end we picked some blueberries instead. So when we come home, they try to clean the raspberry. Hello. And they were so happy. They feel like, Sweden is such a rich country. You can find almost everything edible in the forest. And I told her, in Sweden, our forest, 80% of our forest is edible. That is why we have this reputation called the edible country. And our forests are 70% of our country, or maybe more. I don't know. I think it's 70%. So everything, almost everything is edible. And they were so happy, and she was so satisfied. A satisfying day. And then the next day, we brought them, me and LG, we were like sunbathing. We brought them to a place which is not so far from our place. It's like a mountain. It's called Bureau Club. I think the picture there is amazing. It's like a mountaintop where you could look at the view. It's actually a lighthouse. So on this day, we found this. It's like a B&B, but it was pretty expensive there for 8,000 a night. I thought it was very expensive compared to our B&B, which is much cheaper. And also, this is the lighthouse. Yeah. Yeah, LG taking selfie. And we have some ice cream. Somebody used the blueberry to paint this smiley. And as we came home, on our way back, I called my colleagues up. This is my colleagues. And I said, hey, can we come and visit you? So just to let my Singaporean siblings have an idea how Swedish people are like. So my colleagues and her husband she likes to do painting and making mats and all that. And her husband likes to do wood handicraft like this. They make bowls, they make basket, and they have this. Oh, they went out for a walk. Oh, this is the same at the beauty club. Isn't it beautiful? And I think we were quite lucky most of the day. We had a lot of sun, me and LG sun tanning there. So I think we were lucky. And then on the day, you know, Singaporean like shopping. So we brought them to some shop, local shop, a few different shops. And we were hungry. We went to some buffet in town. And I brought them to some souvenir shops. See, LG new girlfriend. So some frock shop for men. These are typical men shop. And you see how happy is LG and my brother. They were seeing things that they like. And of course, fisherman shop. And for the ladies, we like the design shop. Day 10. Yes, finally some Swedish food. So we picked some red currant in the morning, and in the evening, in the afternoon, or rather the whole day, I told my brother and his wife, said, let's take this day easily. So I'm going to make something for you guys, typical Swedish. And of course, that's the Swedish smörgåstårta. I thought they will like it because my reputation lies on this. I sell this a lot in the cafe, and I wanted them to taste it. So we just didn't really do so much. We were just picking red currant the whole day. And literally a lot of them. I think we picked almost 10 liters or more the whole day. And in the evening, we barbecue. And they said, Singaporean, they said, and I saw my sister-in-law and my brother was starting eating just beside the grill. And I said, hey, how come you're eating? Oh, in Singapore, we do like that. We eat when the food is done. So I said, in Sweden, we don't do that. We put everything together and then we sit down by the table and we eat. Oh, then it's not nice. Then the food is cold. But that's how we eat. We don't, like in Singapore, you guys stand there around the grill and eat. I think in Sweden, we have a really, really different lifestyle. The way we eat, we like to just put everything together and just sit in the tent and just eat together. And then in the evening, they were restless, so we said, okay, let's go and take the boat, and we start to go on a little trip by the boat. They were so happy. Said, wow! After the barbecue was so nice because the weather was still quite warm. So we went around and it was sunsetting. We have this magnificent view. And then somebody so itchy backside said, oh, let's go and visit Genevieve. And Genevieve was here. And we will, look at that. Look, there was a boat. And we're supposed to go through this river to Genevieve's place. Genevieve! And Genevieve is here. Waving at us, taking video. You say she was filming us? Ah. Go home and make coffee. I also go home and make coffee. And then, wow, so sexy. When they're so short. Yeah, you see, she's cold up there, so and she's not wearing. That's a nice video. So, and then we went to a place, And then we have coffee. And then she showed us her guest house. And then we went back. It was so dark. We couldn't see nothing. It was so dark. And then we still can take selfies. See? Typical Singaporean, right? So we came home. It was a bit dangerous because there is no lights in the on the boat that we travel. We should have brought a big light so that people can see us. But the view, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So that's how we spend on day 10. And then on day 11, we went to this like a friend's place. It's called Boonstan. She bought this kind of small cottage on the second floor. So we went there to visit her. And on that day, this is motor show, motor show. And then we went around looking at different houses. Me and my Porsche. And it was a lovely, lovely cottage. Her name is Amalia. She's from the Philippines. So we went to visit her, and she made us some really delicious fried noodle. And you can see the smile on the face of my brother and his wife. They really like her Philippine fried noodles. So there are a lot of second-hand store. My sister-in-law, she was so interested in everything. She think it's so fascinating. Everything is so old and so antique. She said, oh, I wish I could bring this back. You know, you can sell this with lots of money. So this is like a vintage kind of lopis. We call that flea market, where you could see old car people. Some people dress in old style. So, and then this is where we could see, we were sitting on the second floor, so we can see the whole travel. You see, this is the second floor. So you get up to the second floor and you sit up here and you can watch people singing. There's a stage just beside here where they perform. So day 11. Day 12, we went to this free food tour where it's organized by the local. It's for free. So they will pick you up at the Central. Genevieve was with her friend. We booked a ticket together, and everything is for free. The whole thing, where you can see like some local farm, local place where they produce local food, and they make food like local sausages from the pig. And the thing good with local farm is that you get everything so fresh because you don't have to export. You don't, it doesn't travel by the plane, so they supply to local people. This means that the things are fresh, and of course it's slightly expensive, but I think it's worth it. So these are dry meat from the local farmer. And we visited a lot of other places where they have the cows and they sell beef, sausages, and we went to markets and hamburgers, buy local meat. And we have a guide. Unfortunately, they cannot speak English. So I was there, so I was doing all the translation for them. So some of the local products, and then they get to sample for free the sausages, the meat. So I think this is something that you will not find in Singapore, where they produce local food from the farm. So this is a very unique experience for my brothers and his wife. They really enjoy it, as you can see on their face, smiling so widely, right? And of course, plant, vegetables, and fruits farm. And of course, some fika. And we were looking at some chickens. And yeah, it was a very, very pleasant day, even though it was raining a little bit, but we really did enjoy ourselves. And then they have this home baked Swedish fika, which was so delicious. But I was so full from the sausages. It was so big, that sausage. So I didn't want to have any fika. But I think this person who baked, she really put in a lot of time and effort in making this event possible, even though, you know, we were all wearing raincoats, it was freezing, and we had this coffee in this real living room. The farmer, they lent us this place where we could hide from the rain. And then when we came back, you know, remember Daniel? He promised to give us a treat. So we went to his place, and then he was making chicken rice. That's a chicken rice. And we really had a really nice time eating. And then he even made blueberry pie for us. We really had a really nice dinner. Shrimps, mushrooms, and my brother, finger up, finger up. Oh, you see, he really, really enjoyed this guy. And we're lucky. How many dishes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have 6 dishes. And after that, we have raspberry pie for dessert. Okay, I'm going to speed up now because I think it's really... And then, of course, our hunting for Canterrail. I think I did a live streaming on this, and I don't think I need to go through this, but just to show you guys how much I pick. Can you imagine? My brothers were, oh my God, so heavy. Yeah, we were lucky. We got a lot of Canterrail. And this, you cannot find them in Singapore. And I think I've seen them in cold storage in Singapore. And it's really, really expensive. And I asked my sister-in-law and let them taste it. And she said, this tastes like it melts in your mouth like butter. It's so delicious. So you really, really have to come to Sweden in order to try this really, we call it the hidden treasure of Sweden. And I taught her how to prepare this so that she could bring back to Singapore. So because if you were to bring this back to Singapore, it's going to be really heavy. So you really need to get rid of the liquid from the what do you call that? The pan. The mushroom. Yeah, you shredded the mushroom. We have some butter here. So you want to fry the mushroom in this pan and wait until the water evaporates. Come out from the mushroom, and then you transfer this over to the seal. And the water will be drip out from here. So now let's put the mushroom in. So quite high heat. I have number 9, and then I'm going to... So you just evaporate the water, and then you press them into this vacuum paper, Ziploc, and that's how they freeze it, and then they bring it to Singapore. So that is one way, and I prefer this way instead of dried mushroom, because if you dry the mushroom, they are much, much lighter, but it doesn't taste so much, because you still want to have the juice or the liquid from the mushroom originally. So then when you come back to Singapore, you stir fry, it's definitely much nicer than dried mushroom. So everybody was happy. We had a lot of mushrooms, and you know, it was really nice. And then while picking, we had some breaks, we had lunch, and just enjoying letting the day pass by. And when we come home, you know, you can feel the happiness and everybody's face. They were so satisfied. And also here, we went to this place called Storforsen, which is a very big waterfall. And you really have to come to this place if you visit Skellefteå, because it's not far from the place where we stay. It's like to her, to my brothers and his wife, he said this place is so beautiful. You will be just stand there for a moment, and that's what he's doing. He's being carried away, and the camera never stopped clicking, click, 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 camera, video, every day, the whole day. They've been taking a lot of pictures. So, and then the sound, the environment of this place, the air is so fresh, the river is roaring like a tiger. And I think I made a live streaming on this, so if you can check this out. So for me, guys, what does this remind you? Huh? Do I look like a mermaid or what? Then we have this, I made some sardine puff and we had that for lunch. LG was so tired. And according to them, they really like it. Say, wow, Sweden, there's a lot of nature to see. Everywhere you go is nature, 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 right? And yeah, this is me and my mermaid husband. So this is Storforsen. It's a really beautiful place where it is definitely worth visiting. And we were staying in this hotel camping site where we spent the evening barbecuing in the campsite by the river. And then my brother, he likes some potato, some grilled potato. And we went for a walk in the evenings. See, they really love this place. And then when we came back on the evening, we went to a friend's place. He's staying somewhere near Lapland, and this is where he stayed, this area. And on the way there, we see a lot of reindeer on the way. And then he stayed in this really nice little cottage. And he was so happy when we came and visit him. And on that day, LG falls sick. The following day, where we were supposed to go home, LG falls sick. So instead of staying there for one night, we end up staying 2 nights there. And the evening was magical. We were having barbecue again, and the guys were fishing. We're making sausage, and my brother said, "What? Only sausage? You don't have meat, chicken wing, satay?" "No, we don't have. You have to get used to the local practice, which is sausage, which is the main barbecue." So you cannot expect too much when you are just visiting. So you should be glad that you are staying there for free and you're getting free food and free drinks. Not having so much expectation. So my brother, he caught some fish, and LG, I think he caught one. And the night is magical. Look at the scenery. Isn't that beautiful? It's so peaceful, right? So LG, you see, he was not feeling well. But we have a really, really nice day. And then my brother, he caught this fish and we put him on the grill. So since he doesn't want to eat sausage, he ended up eating this fish. Lucky him. Otherwise, he'd have to starve. And this is me. And we went up to this mountain and take some shots. See? So beautiful. Right? So anyone have any wanting to visit Sweden, send us some questions about Sweden and I hope I can answer you. This is a museum that we have visited. Again, how Swedish people live during the old time. And there's this video. It's like a theater where we could go down, and I was so amazed by the jewelry that they make during this old time. That you see, this is like 100 years ago, and they can make jewelry so beautiful. The jewelry and the costumes, how the Lapland wear and how they live. And then me and my sister-in-law, we went to this buffet without the man. The man have to starve, and then we went to this buffet. We really enjoy ourselves. She's so happy, you see, so happy eating. This poor one is sick, and the other one is grumpy in the cottage while we all two went out for a big meal. Okay. And then my daughter came for a visit. So we went home, and then I called my daughter on the way. Are you coming to visit us? Yeah, we do. Let's do a barbecue. So my brother wanted to have chicken wing. So I said, okay, let's have chicken wing. And when we sat in the balcony, it was a really lovely night. And then the sun was shining on us when we were eating. It was warm. You see, nobody was wearing jacket except me because I just had a shower. So really good time. And the next day my sister-in-law taught Nelina how to make chicken rice. This is chicken rice. That is my daughter's favorite dish. And then again, I think we went to some more mushroom. Yeah, and then we got more mushrooms. The guys was like cleaning it, and we really enjoyed mushroom hunting. It was really fun. And then on day 20, we went to a city called Piteå. And Piteå, we went to this local produce farm where they produce rhubarber. And then some sightseeing around the area. And there's a cafe, which is everything is made of rhubarber, the juice, the bread, the ice cream. But unfortunately, they were closed. Like, we were expecting like a wild walk where you can eat moose meat and wild salmon, but they were not open. So it was a pity. So they bought some local produce as a souvenir. And then when we came back, we had this Thai buffet, which is in a city called Piteå. And then my sister-in-law was sitting in the shopping. This is a shopping area. And she was saying, hey, how come the shopping is so quiet? I don't hear a sound. Even the people also walk slowly. Don't talk so much. It's like so peaceful and quiet here. That is what she thinks. Which is really normal here. I'm surprised that she really liked the sound-free shopping environment. And then when we came back, we went to motorcycle meeting. So we try to stick to our life. And then I think this is the last night. This is the last day where we stay. And they come and visit us in the summer cottage. Unfortunately, they were unable to stay there because my sister-in-law has some problem with her nose, with the cats, and she's allergic. So we just went the day taking that easy with the boat, and we went to some different island to visit a friend, but he was not around, so we went fishing. And on that evening, we have some Korean grill. We didn't caught nothing, but I think the experience was like, even if you caught nothing, this most importantly, you are spending time together and just enjoying each other company. And that is one, this is a very, very moment where I just felt like this. All right, I just tell you something that I really feel like is very important. We have this two sun chair outside, and my sister and my brother and his wife were standing there while I was making the steamboat, and this two chair was vacant. So they were sitting. One of them was sitting on the stair, and the other one was sitting on the floor. So I said, "Hey, there's two chairs here available, and there's sun. It's sunny. Why don't you just sit here and enjoy the sun?" And I was shocked when they were just sitting there and they didn't go to the chair. And I was wondering for a while, I said, why they didn't do that? And then I realized, these folks doesn't know how to relax. Yes, it's true. They don't even know how to relax. They never sit on a sun chair before and just take it easy. And they were both 60 years old. And it worries me because for me, I come to think about myself. Was I like that too? I was unable to just sit there and relax. And you know, guys, stress is the number one killer in our new generation. If you don't rest enough and if you don't know how to relax, you're going to be in trouble. So I want to be able to create a channel whereby I could share my method of learning how to relax. In fact, I'm still learning it. And I think I want to make this like a goal. Like people come to my channel and just to chill out and learn the skill of shutting down and just take it easy. All right. So it's a message for me. This is a message for me and for you. We don't have a really expensive summer house. We just stay in this 40 square meters summer house, and we were really happy, even though we don't have a functional toilet that time, but now we have. The water is cold, but we were happy. And you just need to solve this problem yourself and try to figure out how to live in the nature with very simple tools and roof above us, and learn how to be happy. So this is with our two little cat, and I could see, even though we don't have a really fancy place, this is like a kampong, but we were happy. And I wanted this to be like my channel. You know, you don't really need to have a lot to be happy and satisfied. So guys, let me just skip to you. Hi. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please give a thumbs up, and also don't forget to send me a comment. Really like to hear from you. What do you think about this video? It's really long. Oh my god, it's almost 1 hour, and I hope you feel free to let me know. All right, and stay in touch, and I hope to see you in my next. See you guys. Bye bye.